Wow, 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, the 27th of this month was my 50th anniversary with the Sacred Heart of Jesus. My wife and I signed into a committee of the Sacred Heart in 1974, August the 27th. Both of us. And it's on the wall. Let me see if I can turn this thing around. There it is. Here, let me see if I can make it bigger. There it is right there. Signed by my wife and I. All right. 50 years old, that is. 50 years ago, I signed that with Jesus, his Sacred Heart. 50th anniversary. Sacred Heart of Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Sacred Heart of Jesus. Pray for me. Without recourse to thee. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You know, that's just the brightness that's in here. This camera is, this is a good phone. And they're expensive. And I got hoodwinked into getting it, too. How about anything getting into that? That's history. Forgive and forget. You got took. You're going to get took more than once in this life, people. You're going to get took every time you get out there. Somehow, somebody's going to take you for something. Here's some of that money you got in your pocket there. Poor Sly Stallone, you know, I see him, and I remember when he was just a nobody, you know. And he knew my brother, you know, and they palled around together. He said my brother had the fastest hands as a middleweight he's ever seen. And my brother was a good fighter. He knocked out the middleweight champion of Africa in 5 rounds. The African champion was knocking everybody out. Right? And so they had to have a title fight. So they had to have somebody in the top 10, and my brother was rated 5. So they got him to fly to Africa. And he went in as an Irishman, but he should have went in as an Italian, Sicilian. Now they're saying that Sicilians aren't necessarily black people, but we're very dark. Sicilians, dark eyebrows, dark hair. Like I have a lot of Sicilian in me. Dark Sicilian in me. The white is my Irish. My dad was an Irishman. So I'm a white black man. Or whatever the genes are. This is not necessarily have to have black in you because you're Sicilian. You know, but there are a lot of Sicilians that have black in them. I'm not saying that Sicilians are black race. No, they're mulatto race, really. They used to say Sicilians are the mulatto of the Italiano. I'm a mulatto. Very darkies. I used to joke around because Italy's shaped like a boat, you know, and they're kicking all these soccer balls in the middle of the Mediterranean, you know, kicking them around, you know. Get out of here. We don't want no darkies around here. Sicilians, you know, they come in and mix in with Italy, Italianos. It's just a joke. And that's what I am. I'm Sicilian. I'm a Sicilian. I can be many characters. I am an actor. I was in an acting guild. I was a member of Actors Guild. But I got away from it, you know. my brother and Sly Stallone buddied around, you know, because Sly was into that Rocky stuff and everything. Yeah, Sly had the same upbringing as me. Got his ass whipped, and he was always in trouble, and he was in 20 different schools. I did the same thing, but I went my way, and he went his way. God, because he's got me by a couple of years. He's like a bigger brother to me. Sly is big brother. Hey, Sly, you missed me, man. I was cool too, man. But now you can dig me because I got 500 videos. And you dig my music, you know. I don't know, you can dig me too, man, because I'm cool. I'm not a homo or anything. I used to be when I was a perverted, when I was a baby. Now I've become a man, you know. I gave up all my childish ways. I'm no longer molested as a 9-year-old. You know, 14, you know, I met my wife when I was 15. And things started smoothing out. And then I went into service and come back, and then I was in Jesus' hands after that. And I've been there ever since, and that was 1971. Whew. Jesus came in the 1970s. I was on the deck putting out the rockets that didn't take off and were spinning around in circles. I'm taking them, putting them out with a fire extinguisher, you know. Everything is catching on fire. I mean, the power coming out of the end of those rockets, and they start spinning around, they have to go 100 revolutions before they'll explode. And you got to kick them off the side before stop the revolutions and put the fires out. Put the fire out, kick it over the side. And they had a guy with an asbestos suit on when they got caught in the launcher because the launchers would swell because of the heat, you know, the heat. And then they not fire for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And it would let the tubes cool down. When they cooled down, they shrunk. So sometimes the tubes would shrink where the rockets would catch and not take off. They just shoot, and then they go to the top and just flip out of the top of rather than taking off. They flip off out, and they just go. They come out of the rocket and they go ploop on the deck, and they start spinning around. They're on fire, man. I gotta put them out with a fire extinguisher. I experienced that. Believe me, I'm not telling you that's what could happen. I'm telling you that's what happened. Jeez. And the guy with the asbestos suit on, that's what they were training me for, because he was going to go off the boat. And the captain knew I was a crazy man. Yeah. Here I am putting the rockets out. When they don't take off, I'm putting them out with a fire extinguisher. You know, who else on the boat is going to do that job? Except for crazy man. And that's what I was. Oh, he had fun with me. The captain had fun with me. When I came out of boot camp, they sent me down for shoreline, you know. Go down in the front of the forecastle and get some shoreline and bring it back up here. Okay, so I go down there, looking around. All these guys said, "What are you looking for?" I'm looking for some shoreline here. Where is it? Is it yellow or something, or what? No. One guy says, "No, the shorelines. Look over there. See all the ships docked up and all that against the shore. That's the shoreline." Oh, okay. Oh, darn it. I got hoodwinked again. Hoodwinkers. I get hoodwinked all the time. And then they told me, now, when I first got on the boat, you know, because I didn't know anything about salt water or anything. And they said, now you take your clothes and you tie them on a rope and you throw them over the side of the deck. And as the ship goes through the water, they'll wash your clothes for you. And you don't have to take them to the laundromat and all that. So okay, I go out there, put my good shirt, I didn't have but two or three of them, a shirt and a pair of pants, and I tied them on a rope and I threw them over the side of the deck, and we're going along, and you can see my clothes skipping on the water. Now, everybody knows what's going on. It's been there for a while. They're watching me. They're having blast watching me. I'm going over and checking to see if my clothes are being washed. I think so. I let it go for about a couple hours, like that. It was like in a wash machine. And I pulled them back up and I wrung them out and I put them on the deck to let the sun dry them and all that stuff. And then I went away. I come back. And I looked at them. I said, they look like they're froze or something. So I picked them up and they stood up. The salt that was in the sea got into my clothes. You can't put them in the sun to dry. That salt's in there, and it acts like a starch. And you can stand my shirt up and my pants too. I can stand them up without anybody in them or anything. That's how much starch they were with that salt water and all that. And everybody's laughing at me, that type of thing. Then the one time there was we were unloading, or we were loading, not unloading, but we were loading up for more rockets to go up the river again. For our rocket, we take, I think it was 5,000 rockets every time. We load up 5,000 rockets, and then we go up, let them off, and we come back, load up again, go back up. And the captain, this is Nixon, he says, because everybody was out passing rockets back and forth and all that, standing shoulder to shoulder, and you pick up a rocket, and it goes to the next guy, and it goes all the way up to the ship, goes down into the forecastle, and goes into a tube. Every rocket's got its own tube, and there was like 5,000 tubes in that ship. All the walls had tubes and everything, 3 foot, It was a very skinny aisle that you had to walk down through. You couldn't have been a big fat man and walk down through. That's how crowded the ship was, with these rockets, Because when we went into Rocket 1, a line started where the last rocket was taken out. A line starts there, and they start taking the tubes cylinders off and pulling the rockets out, and then handing them to one guy. The guy hands them to another guy until it gets to the elevator, and you put it up in the elevator, and the elevator has a rotates, like a cash register when you go for the supermarket. It has that type of a thing, when they push the button and everything moves forward. Oh, that's the way it is with the rockets, So the belt that we put the rockets on would go up against the launcher, and it would come down and grab the 2 rockets and take them back up, and then come back down, take the 2 rockets, take them back up. 6 was, we were firing 8 rockets every 3 seconds. Because we were only firing half the ship, but we were able to, if we were in full force, we were able to fire 16 rockets every 3 seconds until we were empty. Yeah. It's 5,000 rockets, man. That's a lot of humping for all the men, Because you gotta figure, they're standing there, and these things weigh, I don't know, 75 pounds, something like that. But man, they take off, they'll go 7 miles. And then, kaboom! That's what we used to look for, is secondary explosions. Like you hit, like they say, okay, here's an ammo dump, and we'd be firing at it, right? Then the rockets go off, and then you stand there and you wait, and then you see them, boom, 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 and then kaboom, right? We hit the ammo dump. And then there's a big black smoke, and it looks like it's so big and black. It looks like a mushroom. A big black mushroom goes up into the sky, and it's on fire because we hit their ammo dump. That's what we used to do. That my ship used to do that. They would spot the ammo dumps because the VC had to have places, to store their ammo and everything. And our spotter planes and all that would spot them, see the activity going on, and make note, and then fire our order up, and we'd have to go and on the river and remain stationary, and then they radio back the coordinates of where they want us to bomb, and that goes in our computer, and then our rockets, and they set right on them. And as the ship could be moving, right, but the rockets would be right on it because they're on swivels. So once they put them on target, they stay right on. The ship could be going up and down like this, but that rocket launcher is pointing right, this is the ship going up and down, but that rocket's, right on where you're going to... And man, it's fascinating. You see that thing go off at nighttime. Oh, man, it's like a laser beam going to the shoreline. Yeah, that's how. But the timing was this: 8 launchers, but we only used 4 of them broadsided. We could use all 8 if we needed to. So we had capability of 16 rockets every 3 seconds, but we only had 150. We had 157 guys on the ship, and I don't know how many guys in a line there was from where the rocket had to go from the tube to the elevator. And they had them coming in all directions. They didn't have just one line putting it on. There was other lines going into the elevator conveyor belt too, putting the rockets on. So there was plenty of rockets there. So when the launches wanted to come down, they grabbed them. They were there, pressured and everything, They just went right in. They go down. The rocket launcher comes down, and then the rockets go in, and then it goes back up, and then it goes back up, and then it goes back into its thing. But they do it all 4 of them with 2 rockets in each one of them. That's 8 rockets every 3 seconds. So it goes like this. I can remember how it goes. It goes. Those are the rockets taking off, right, to their destination. And there's no place to run, man. Yeah, because those rockets are coming in 8 every 3 seconds. They're just coming in barrage. Where are you going to run, man? That's why there's a lot of collateral damage, too, done there. Because some of the people that were there weren't enemies. They were just there because they lived there. And we come in there and we tell them, if you're here, you're considered to be the enemy. And you got to get out of here. And here's a guy with 8 kids, and he's got a cow and a horse, and he's got chickens, he's got a garden grown. And where's he going to go? So he sticks it out, man. So he's collateral damage when firepower comes in. Because when we hit the villages, because we get radioed, okay, they're out. They come out of the ground at night. They're in the holes underneath the ground. These Viet Congs, little rats, man. They were tiny people too. You had to be if you were a tiny guy in the army, you were a lookout. You were in trouble, man, because if you were a small guy, as small as them, you were the lookout, man. They put you in a tube with a machine gun and a flashlight to flush them all out. They come popping out of the holes and all that stuff, and we'd be standing there, machine guns and everything, man. Because that's what they did to us. We'd send our guys in there, and then they would be deep down in the hole, and they'd see a way out, so they come up. They go up the hole, and they come out, and when they come out, their head comes up, and the Viet Cong is standing there with a machete. Shoop! Off goes your head. Behind all the bushes. That's why we had to have Agent Orange. Agent Orange had to take all these bushes away, because that's the VC would hide behind. He couldn't find them. It's like the Briton coming over with big red uniforms on and fighting against the Minuteman, in the woods, That's the same thing we had to go. Here we are, Army, you got Army suits and all that stuff, and our machine guns and everything. They're coming in, and these guys are living down in holes and coming up behind leaves and stuff. Could have hit us with a blowgun or something. Yeah, they could. And nobody even know it, man. Some poisonous blowgun, man. They hit you in the eye with it, you're a dead man. Because they're good with the blowguns, man. Whew. Man, here we are with machine guns, and they got blowguns and spears, Jeepers. But then when when China got in there and started arming them and all that stuff, then it was a different type of war. And China's got a billion people more than we do. They got 1,300,000,000, and we got 300 million. And here we are fighting a war with them. If we kill some of their guys, they're going to stick twice as many back in. You can't fight up against something like that. And their technology is, ground-wise, is par with ours, They got machine guns. We got machine guns. They got cannons. We got cannons, But what they don't have is our secret weapons. Our new laser technology. Come out. We can knock a plane down with a laser beam 200 miles away. That's a long distance, I would say, wouldn't you? And they'd be hit before they knew it. That's how fast that laser is. Zip, and you're done. That's all it is, just laser. We could use them on those spaceships on the East Coast. They wouldn't be able to run from our lasers. We'd be able to knock them right out of the sky. But we're not doing it for some reason. Top secret military equipment or something like that, maybe. But it's a well-known fact that we have laser beams that can knock other planes out of the sky. Coming from a plane. It's on a ball. It evolves. It's a beam, man. And it shoots out and it just knocks you right out of the sky. It's like quicker than lightning, man. It's a laser. And it's powerful too. And we could knock those. We could stand there. We could get a couple of those where they're coagulated. They see them all together. You got a whole bunch of them together. Well, you put one of our stands down there and put our laser search on them and pop them right out of the sky. See how fast they can move out of the way of a laser. No way, man. We're going to grab them, man. We're going to get them. But then when are we going to start? Some type of a war with another world? Maybe. So our intelligence, we're very conservative. I would think we would only use them if we were threatened. And they're not threatening us. They're just intimidating us. Just like China is doing to us. They're absorbing us slowly. Their culture, 4,000 years old. We got a 260-year-old culture, United States. And we only got 300 million, and we killed 71 million babies. Since 72, since that law went in effect. How many did China do? They did 337 million babies didn't make it in the world because they murdered them. God calls them all martyrs. So if there's a lot of Chinese people are going to be in heaven. Yeah. You figure about it. All them babies being aborted. God doesn't differentiate between if they were Catholic babies or not, or if they were Baptist babies or Muslim babies or whatever. They're babies. You know, they all get a soul and a guardian angel and a chance to find God in life. And all they have to do is ask for faith. I look really Chinese tonight, don't I? I got Japanese Chinese in me too. Got a gene. I'm a Chinaman. I'm a Jap. I'm a Chink. I'm a Chinkajap. I'm a Chinkajap. Yeah. I'm a Chinkajap. Yeah. I'm a Chinkajap. But I'm Americanese. Yeah. I'm Americanese. I'm Americanese. You want to see my American? Well, how do I sound Americanese? Well, here, what? What are you doing here? What did you do? Oh, what did you do? Oh, what do you got here? What do you got? Come on. Oh, you got it exploded. You got your picture exploded. Okay, here you go. Well, right there, here's an American knee. And here's another American knee. Right? Those are two knees, right? And they're American knees. And that's how I'm American knees. You know, my eyes are slanted. Mine are more slanted than Chinese eyes. Look at me. This is me. Now, this is me. My DNA is adjustable or something. Because sometimes I look like this, like a Chinese person. And then sometimes I can't open up my eyes real wide. And I go, boy, it's hard to do that. See, I got to go back to my Chinese look. Yeah, that's me. I'm a Chinaman. I was to the cleaners the other day with some suits and stuff, and she's in there sweating. Oh my God, that place must be 110 degrees in there or more. And I stood there giving her my clothes. And I said, thinking, you working this all day long during the summer? And like during the winter, you could open up the doors, and all that stuff. It would be halfway decent in there. But during the summer, man, you can't open up the doors and cool things down. And it costs you a fortune to air condition that place because it's laundromat. They're doing all kinds of laundry in there, Now, I have done, when I was in the business, I have went and made glass doors and stuff and sectioned off the areas that create the heat so it wouldn't make the environment for the people that work there not be able to handle it, man, because it's so hot. So I sectioned it off and I made walls and all that around where the heat was being made, insulated it and all that, and then put ventilation. And they were happy. I did that too. I remodeled that whole building. I did that too over there on Court Street. Fairview Cleaners, something like that. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I remodeled that whole building. I put steel siding on it and everything, man. I did it as a hobby job on the side, because, I go down there and spend 5 hours on it one day and then not go back for a couple of days and then go down and spend another 5. And I got it done. I didn't make any money on it. I lost money, matter of fact. Lost money and time because it was too big of a job. And I did it way too cheap. I did all that siding and everything on that building for about 10 grand. Oh, jeepers. I don't know how many, it cost me 5 grand for materials. So here I am, 5 grand materials and 5 grand to put it on. I tried to hire a couple of guys. It was too cold. They wanted to have a break like they were working for Universal Instrument or something, wait, it's 10 o'clock, though. We get a coffee break and all that. Okay, well, we had a coffee break. But man, it was cold putting that stuff on. I put it on in the wintertime. Oh, man. That was a cold job. There was days I couldn't even, you didn't even want to put your coat on and go outside. Man, it was so cold. But I got the job done. I helped them Chinese people out. They came in from Indochina. They were Chinese people. They came in from, I don't know, New York, that port there that they come in on, So, and they leased. What she did was she leased. Fairview Cleaners had an owner, and she had a good business going there. Everybody took their stuff there. East Side, everybody takes it to Fairview over there. I think that's what it's called, Fairview Cleaners. Anyways, I remember, I can't remember. It's been so long. I forget about that stuff. But anyways, they brought the Chinese families in. The kids were playing on the floor, and it was a laundromat, and the whole thing. That's what they did. They did the cleaners, and then they had a laundromat in the back where everybody can bring their laundry. So there was like a family type situation. People even bring their dinners and eat there while they were doing their laundry. So bring a sandwich or something. Sit down and have a little picnic or something. Yeah. I remember. Jeepers. I almost had an accident. On that job. Jeepers. Think about it. Some little kid climbed up on a ladder in the inside behind the picture window. A little kid climbed up on the table and he's watching me doing the carpentry on the outside. And he's up there looking. I didn't see him. I hit my gun and a nail went off. Phew! It could have, if it was a little bit lower, it would have went right through and hit this kid. Oh, man, I think about those type of accidents that could happen that didn't happen, but could have. The chances I took for the money I made. Because back then, I can remember 95 cents an hour. That was my first job I got paid at Carol's Hamburger Stand on Upper Court Street. That's what it was called, Carol's Hamburger Stand. And I started out making milkshakes. They were going to graduate me into stacking buns, but I didn't stay long. I got out of that job making milkshakes. Hey, get that milkshake over here. Come on, I need it now. What are you doing over there? Come on, get the milkshakes going. You know what I'm saying? I got to put up with this stuff for 95 cents an hour. Shit. So anyways, guy's horsing around. That's probably, he's the hamburger flipper. He's He's the head man. The guy with the spatula is the guy that tells everybody what to do, while he's flipping the hamburgers. You go, okay, we need a couple shakes over here. Okay, somebody go over here and load these buns up. Okay, I'm going to flip some hamburgers here. I got a couple cheeseburgers got to make, get some cheese out. Okay, here we go. And he's talking like that, and he's telling everybody what to do. He's the general manager of the hamburger store. And everybody looks at him, yeah, he's the boss, man. Yeah. He's a hamburger man. Okay, there we go. Hamburger boss. I'm the boss. You're the boss of what? The hamburger stand down Court Street there. I flip the hamburgers and everything. I'm the boss down there. You want a job? I need some part-time help and stuff. Man, going back in time. I was 15 years old. I was going to be 16, what was it, 5 months or so, or 4 or 5 months. But I needed a job, man. I wanted a job. Everybody had money and I didn't. So I was looking for a job. So I went there and I said, yeah, we need somebody to make shakes, and stuff. You can start off there. I started out. Wasn't what I wanted, being on my feet all day long. They gave you a hamburger and a fry for dinner. And then you didn't know if you're going to work the next day or not. Because they got to call you in, And half the time I was out of the house, my father kicked me out. You got a job? Get out of here. Shit. Okay. Well, that's the way it was. I had some grown-up years between the ages of, I'd say 12. Because, no, it started at 9, because I was perverted at 9. A guy perverted me. I didn't do anything perverted, but except for what he wanted me to do was to watch. He says, I'll give you 8 quarters, you watch me masturbate. And I just turned 9, I didn't even know what masturbate was. What's masturbate? What do you mean? What's a masturbate? Okay, 8 quarters. I don't have a dime on me, man. I'm 8 years old, or 9. I just turned 9. Right? Okay, I'll take 8 quarters. Watch him masturbate. So he starts masturbating in front of me, up in the. He had a room with a pool table and all that stuff, and he caught me. It was funny how I got in a situation. I was only 9 years old, just turned 9. And I'm scouting the neighborhood because I just moved on this street, And so I'm scouting the neighborhood and I heard the pool balls break. And all these guys laughing and joking around and all that stuff up in this barn, right? So I'm going to go and check it out, man. So I climb up the side real quiet. I get on the ceiling, I got my ear there, and I'm listening to everything they're saying, They're playing for quarters. Everybody's got quarters going in for 8 ball and all this other stuff. Whoever hits the 8 ball or whoever makes the 8 ball, they win the quarter. And this guy that owned the pool table was good at it. He'd get everybody's quarters, and they all be out of money, and then he'd leave, and he'd have a big pile of quarters there, right? So I'm on the roof, and I'm listening to all these guys. Then one by one they start leaving and everything. Pretty soon he's there by himself, really. And I says, well, I'm going to get out of here. And I slipped. My foot slipped on the shingles, and he heard me. He comes out, and he opens up the window, and he comes out, looks like, what are you? Who are you? What are you doing here? Get in here. I crawled over and got in the thing and stood there, and he says, what are you doing? I said, I'm doing the area, and I just heard the pool balls break. I just want to come and see what you guys were doing, He says, oh, okay. He says, you ever play pool? I says, he's looking at me. He liked me, you know what I mean? He's an old, he's a teenager. He was like 16. He was old enough to have a motorbike, so anyways. So, I just turned 9. And so he said, here, you shoot pool? He says, here's a stick. Here, practice shooting some pool, So he let me shoot some pool. He got to know me, talking to me, joking with me, and all that other stuff. And the friendship grew, and stuff. And I came over, and next time I come over, play some pool, and catch him on, he says, you got any way to make money and stuff? I said, no, I don't have any money. He says, you move some boxes, stuff like that, and give you a quarter, stuff. So he got me, I got a quarter, So I went and I spent my quarter. I got popsicles, some Tootsie Rolls, and, I got all kinds of good stuff, for the quarter he gave me in the boxes. So the next time I come in, I'm standing there. He says, you got any money, honey? I says, no, I spent that quarter. I was done with that, And he goes, well, how would you like to make 8 quarters? I said, yeah, what I gotta do? She says, just gotta watch me masturbate. I said, what's masturbate? What do you do? And he told me, and I says, okay, I'll watch you masturbate for 8 quarters. I watched him masturbate my first time being perverted. Uncircumcised masturbator. Masturbating in front of me, And I'm not going to go into detail of all the stuff he did and everything, but and I had to watch. I got perverted when I was 9 years, just turned 9. And I had a problem with that, man. I had a problem with that stuff growing up because I was exposed to it. And it was always for money. Money, money, money. I always got seduced because of money. And then when I turned 13, 14, I had to have an operation. Oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe what I had to go through there. I had my left nut tied to a 2x4 in a hospital for weeks. You wouldn't believe what happened. I had an undersetted testicle. In other words, it wasn't in the scrotum. It was on the side. Technically, it was almost in the scrotum, but it was on the side. Somebody had punched me or something when I was a babysitter or something like that, whacked me in the nuts. I was just changing my diapers. I probably pissed in her face or something. She gave me a whack, and dislodged that nut out of my testicle, out of my scrotum, So, anyways, my mother says, you were born with that, Okay, well, I don't know, Mom. I kind of feel I was punched in the balls, really. But anyways, here I am, 13, 14 years old, and something happened. Had to have an operation. And I got the operation on that left testicle, and the doctor says, I can fix that. He's looking at his watch, he's got a sandwich in another hand, and a cup of coffee, He's thinking, I can fix that, My mother and father were taken in, and they had insurance, some type of a program, government program that would cover the operation for me. So I woke up the next morning with a twang. I had a 2x4 taped to my left knee, and they bent my knee a little bit, and they put a 2x4 on it and surgically taped it to my leg. And the reason why they did that, because they pounded a nail in a 2x4. So they pounded a nail right around where my kneecap is, right? And that nail pounded in a 2x4 was tied to by a string that came out of my scrotum with my left testicle tied to it. This is what this caveman doctor did to me for I don't know how much money he grabbed from the government. Said he could do the job, and he tied my nuts to the 2x4. Man, was I in pain. And the twang on the line, it was so taut, you could actually hear it go boing, 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 boing. Because it was through my testicle, down onto that, wrapped around that nail on my left leg. My buddies came. I'll tell you, they're all alive still. All them guys are alive still that I know about. But we're getting old though. Heck, we're in our 70s. But anyways, let's see, I lost my track of mine here. Oh, all my buddies came to see me in the hospital when I was like 13, 14. I met them all when I was 12. And we used to buddy around and go hitchhike to Johnson City and merry-go-round and try to find girls and all that other stuff together when we were young kids. 13, 14, 15. And around there, we used to always hitchhike to JSA to get to the merry-go-round where the girls used to be, And me and my buddies, Dave and Mike, and it was Eddie. I remember Eddie. He turned out to be a singer. I don't know how if he's still alive or not. He wasn't bad. He turned out to be a pretty good singer, too. Good voice. But anyways, who else was there? Dave and Steve and Mike, and I was the band boy. I used to hang out with them, I just loved the guitar, I loved the bass. I tried to play them all, I played the drums, so I ended up being a bass drummer. You gotta hear some of my tapes. I do it all. I play the bass drum, and I play the bass, and I play the guitar all at the same time. I got a 12-string guitar, and I know how to press the notes, man. My hands know right where to go after 50 years, I've been playing these tunes for a long time. But my just basic progressions, too. But over the years, they've improved. They've gotten better in their beat. It's more in tune right now. My harmonica is more in tune with this day and age music. They're doing a lot of rhyming stuff now. Stuff, with a pretty good beat to it. That's what I'm doing. Hallelujah. I'm the Hallelujah Blues Man. Hallelujah, Yeshua. Yeshua, hallelujah. Yeshua. What's your orbit, man? Is it around the sun? The Son of God. Hallelujah. The Son of God is around the sun. Hallelujah. Holy, holy, holy. Hallelujah. See, I get into it. Oh, man, I'm just so tired right now. It's like, 2:30 in the morning. And I haven't been to sleep, people. And I didn't get sleep last night either. I don't know what's going on with me. I think it's the therapy I use. I use this massage therapy. It's done with this right here. And it's got a round ball on it. And then there's ones that there's a finger on it too. I like that one better. That's softer. Wherever it went. And it's going to be one of those. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's got a tip like this. But this tip is so much. See how soft it is? Look at it. It's just so soft. I'm trying to do it with one hand and hold the phone with the other, See, it's just so soft. And that goes on the tip. This pulls off. Let me see here. How can I do this? Let me see if I can turn this. Okay, so you got this. You're going to put this on. So you take this one off. Twist it off. Okay. Now it's off. And you put the other one on. Let's push it in. Oh. Now you've got, this is massage therapy, reflexology, has great potential with this, because this will stimulate all the nerves in your hands, your feet, your backs of your hands, front of your hands, your ears, around your earlobes and all that. And then this part on the back of your neck, right where your two big muscles go into your head. Those two muscles that are back there. Oh man, does this thing feel good on them. I actually, if I have stuffed sinuses, there's a location in the back of my head that I can put this on and let it vibrate. And as soon as I do that, my sinuses open right up and I can breathe through my nose. Like right now, I'm having a tough time. But if I put this on and put it on my back of my head, I'll have, oh man, I got so much here. This is all my musical equipment. You're seeing the backs of it right now. All this stuff over here. This is an amplifier, and there's another amplifier over here. Then I got a big mic stand coming over this way. I gotta fix that too, because I run my mic on there. And I get this cleaned up a little bit better, but this is my studio. And over here is, this is my new TV. And that's a reflection of my light overhead right now. The light that's over my head is reflecting off my TV. Doesn't that look cool? Multicolored too. You can see what by looking at my TV. See if I can explode that a little bit. Like that. Okay. A little bit more. How much more? Oh, enough to see it, maybe. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on now. There you go. There we go. See all the colors? Yeah. All the colors of the light above my head. Now this is a reflection on TV. Let's go into the light above my head. Come on. Let's see, where are you? Oh, look at this. Many colors. Let's see, make it smaller. Yeah, see, make it a little bit bigger. Like, what color are your eyes? And make it smaller. So I say to you, what's your orbit, man? Is it around the sun? Is it around the Son of God? Is it around the Holy Son of God? What's your orbit? Does the sun have a shadow? Wow, the sun has a shadow. Ah, the sun has a shadow? Ah, come on, man. How can the sun have a shadow? There it is right in front of your eyes, people. The sun has a shadow. Isn't that? I'm just playing a character right now, people. I'm just going, hey, man, everybody. Here we are. Feast your eyes on bizarre colors. Yeah. What's your orbit, man? Is it around the sun? Is it around the sun? What's your orbit, man? Is it around the Son of God? Elohim. Our supreme is Elohim. Oh, Yeshua, hallelujah. Yeshua, 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 hallelujah. Yeshua, ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha, ha ha ha. Yeshua, hallelujah. Oh, holy, 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 hey, hallelujah. It's like I say, people, we're going to just be absorbed. One day, he'll knock on the door and it will say, oh, nice house you have here. Oh, okay. Well, you got 2 weeks to move out because we own it now. We've taken over the government. And all Chinese people get all the houses. And all you people who live in the house have to leave. How'd you like that, people? I'd like to hear that. How'd you like to hear that? Well, you just heard it. Because that's what could happen. You know, you buy property right now at a halfway decent price, especially out on the coast. You buy your property and then 10 years later, it's worth twice what you bought it for. Pretty big investment, I'd say. And that's what the companies, the different countries are doing. They're owning businesses in the United States, and they aren't subject to court. They're arbitrators. You can't do business with them unless you agree to arbitration. And all you have to do is go through arbitration once or twice. You'll find out how fair it is. It's not fair at all because I lost on a Bible. I got the story in my past videos. But I bought a Bible through PayPal. Aramaic Bible translated into English. I wanted to see, what it looked like. So I bought it, $40. I waited, didn't get one. Didn't get a Bible. So I called up PayPal. Told them what happened, right? So we'll check it out. We'll call you back. Oh, okay, so they went and they checked it out and all, and I forgot, then I got back with them. It was all within a week or so. And anyways, I got back. Now, where am I? See what I mean, people? Where am I? Where am see, I could take, I got the Holy Mother, I got Jesus. The Holy Mother is part of Jesus' heart. Jesus has 4 parts.